One of the most damaging things in unhealthy relationships is not always what is said or done, it is how your reactions are made to feel wrong. You feel hurt, uncomfortable, confused, or overwhelmed. And instead of your feelings being understood, you are told that you are overreacting. Over time, this slowly changes the way you see yourself. You begin to doubt your emotions, question your memory, and even second-guess your judgment. Today we will talk about you're not overreacting. This is called abuse. So, before we start, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. 10. Emotional responses are information, not problems. Your emotional response is not random or unnecessary. It is information. It is your mind and body reacting to something that does not feel safe, respectful, or emotionally right for you. In a healthy situation, emotions are seen as signals that help people understand each other better. But in unhealthy dynamics, that signal gets ignored or twisted. Instead of looking at the behavior that caused the pain, the focus shifts onto your reaction. You are asked why you are reacting like this, instead of why you are being hurt in the first place. Over time, this slowly teaches you to doubt yourself, to question your feelings, and to stay quiet even when something inside you clearly feels wrong. 9. Your overreacting becomes a way to shut you down. Over time, phrases like "you're overreacting," "you're too sensitive," or "you're making a big deal out of nothing" become repeated ways to shut you down. At first, you try to explain yourself because you believe you will be understood. You try to clarify your feelings, to make sense of what happened, to communicate honestly. But when those responses are constantly dismissed, something changes inside you. You start holding back. Not because everything is fine, but because speaking leads to invalidation. Slowly, silence feels safer than expression, even when you are hurting. 8. You start shrinking emotionally to keep peace. To avoid conflict, you begin adjusting yourself. You stop bringing up issues. You stop expressing discomfort. You start staying quiet even when something hurts deeply. Without realizing it, you begin shrinking emotionally just to maintain peace. The pattern keeps repeating. Your feelings are dismissed, your concerns are minimized, and your reactions are blamed. And when a pattern repeats long enough, it stops feeling like isolated incidents and starts becoming the normal structure of the relationship. You are no longer reacting to events, you are adapting to a system. 7. You start apologizing for having emotions. As this continues, you slowly start apologizing just for having emotions in the first place. You say sorry for being upset, sorry for speaking up, sorry for needing clarity, and even sorry for reacting to things that hurt you. Over time, the line in your mind starts to blur. You begin to believe that your emotional reactions are the problem, instead of asking what caused them. Instead of questioning the behavior that triggered the pain, you start questioning your own sensitivity. And this shift happens quietly, but it slowly changes how you see yourself in the relationship. You stop trusting your feelings and start treating them like something you need to hide or fix. 6. Boundaries start being treated as attacks. At the same time, your boundaries begin to lose their meaning in the eyes of the other person. What should be seen as self-respect starts being treated like a problem. When you try to express what is okay and what is not, you may be labeled as controlling, too demanding, or difficult. But in reality, boundaries are not attacks, they are clarity. They define emotional safety and show where respect begins and ends. And when boundaries are consistently ignored or punished instead of understood, it often reveals something deeper. It shows that control is being protected, not emotional understanding, not care, and not balance in the relationship. 5. Confusion slowly becomes normal. Over time, confusion stops feeling like something unusual and slowly becomes your normal state of mind. You are no longer fully sure what is real, what is acceptable, or even what is your fault anymore. In healthy relationships, things usually become clearer with time, communication, and consistency. But in unhealthy ones, the opposite happens. Clarity fades, and confusion grows. You start second-guessing even the smallest situations, because nothing feels stable or predictable. This constant uncertainty slowly wears down your confidence and makes you doubt your own understanding of reality. 4. You start minimizing your own pain. At some point, you begin to downplay your own emotions before anyone else can. You tell yourself it is not that serious, that you are probably overthinking, or that you should just let it go. Slowly, this becomes a habit. This is where the damage becomes deeper, because the invalidation is no longer only coming from outside. It starts coming from within you. You begin repeating the same dismissive patterns on yourself that others have been showing you, and without realizing it, you start protecting others' comfort more than your own emotional truth. 3. The pattern repeats, not just the moment. The real realization is that it is never just about one argument, one mistake, or one bad day. It is about repetition. Your feelings are dismissed again and again. Your concerns are minimized again and again. Your reactions are questioned again and again, and when something repeats consistently over time, it stops being a coincidence and starts becoming a pattern. And patterns are important, because they reveal the truth more clearly than any single emotional moment ever can. They show you what is actually happening underneath all the explanations. 2. You stop trusting yourself. With time, this repeated invalidation starts affecting something much deeper than the situation itself. It affects your relationship with yourself. You slowly stop trusting your own emotions. You begin to doubt your memory, your judgment, and even your basic understanding of what actually happened. Even when something clearly hurts you, there is a moment of hesitation before you fully accept your own reaction. You start asking yourself questions like, am I being too sensitive? Or did I misunderstand this? Or maybe I'm overthinking again. And over time, these questions don't just stay thoughts. They become a habit. You begin to second-guess everything you feel, even when your emotions are completely valid. This is one of the deepest effects of emotional invalidation, because it is not just confusion about other people anymore. It becomes a slow breakdown of trust in your own mind, where you can no longer rely on yourself the way you used to. 1. The realization: you were not the problem. And finally, the truth starts to settle in, even if it takes time to fully accept it. You were not too sensitive, and you were not overreacting. You were responding to something that was genuinely affecting your emotional state. Your reactions were not random. They were responses to real experiences that impacted you. When your emotions are consistently dismissed instead of understood, it stops being a simple misunderstanding. It becomes emotional harm that slowly builds over time, and once you are able to see that clearly, everything begins to shift. The confusion starts to fade, the self-blame starts to lose its power, and the story you were telling yourself about being the problem no longer makes sense. What do you think about our video? Let me know in the comments below. Before you go, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.